It's time to stop consuming, overthinking, feeling that overwhelm, and it's time to start creating what you are meant to create. Now, this video is for you if you are like in this state of trying to figure out how to get to that next level in your business. And so maybe you're spending time just consuming. Maybe you're spending time right now just overthinking or over planning stuff, and you're not seeing that progress. You're stuck in a plateau right now. And for you, maybe that could be $10,000 a month. For me, I know it's hit me at different points to where I've been stuck between that like $5,000 and $15,000 per month. I've been stuck between the 20 to 50,000. It's going to hit you at different levels. But the point is, it happens to all of us. And I'm going to walk you through how I've been able to escape that and be able to get to my next levels in business and in life. So here's the deal, right? I'm not going to bore you with any freaking sciencey details here, but I have studied a lot, especially lately, around the chemical called dopamine. And while dopamine is a major driver to be able to get to the next level, a lot of times we will fall, quote unquote, victim to cheap dopamine. And that is a big reason why I think a lot of us stay stuck. Maybe it's that dopamine hit of needing the sale, right? Or, being on our phones and having to check our notifications to see if like our followers are DMing us or blah, we're getting likes on this post or XYZ. For some it could just be a lot. It could be there's so many things that it could do. But one of the big lessons is that I've learned it's around doubling down on your processes and truly falling in love with the processes. Because when we can attach our dopamine to the actual work that we need to do, maybe that we're kind of bored of, the boring work, maybe it's like creating the content, or it's talking to our leads, or it's following up with our client, whatever it may be for you, it's kind of figuring out how do I attach dopamine to that and how do I remove all of the other clutter. So that's one big piece here. And there's obvious things that you could do to help regulate it, like working out regularly, going out for walks instead of being on, in front of your computer all day. There's, cold plunges and ice showers and meditation and all of the things that I think we should be doing. But that's one major piece. The second major piece here is focusing on the right thing, but at the wrong time. I see so many people stay stuck, and they stay stuck in this consumption and overwhelm and overthinking and over planning because they're focusing on perhaps sometimes the complete wrong thing. Let's just be honest. Like you're focusing on like building like a website or a landing page or something like that. That could be complete wrong thing. But a lot of times I see people focusing on some of the right projects, right? Maybe they're trying to hire an appointment setter, or they're trying to launch another offer. It could be the right thing, but at the wrong time in their business. And so there are different, stages of business that at least I've discovered that are, vitally important if you want to be able to grow. Because there are certain projects that you should do, and you should, there's certain, what word am I looking for here? There are certain like daily and weekly actions that you should be getting really good at if you want to be able to progress. So, for example, just having a really good offer like that is a no-brainer for your ideal clients. Knowing how to communicate it, aka your messaging, knowing how to say the right words that bring in the right clients, that is absolutely key, right? So your offer and your messaging are two major projects that when you dial in, it's not just like I'm going to fill out an avatar worksheet and I'm good. It's a constant refinement. Those are a couple major projects. Having a really good video sales letter or some kind of strategic training that helps pre-sell your ideal clients. That's a really big, indicator. Having a well-established lead generation and client acquisition system is absolutely a key project that has to be built, right, to be able to move past a certain stage. And so what I found to be true is that when you can focus on the right things at the right time, you're able to grow at the level you are. And so to get past 50 to 100K months, you have to be able to have a really good offer, as I just said, know how to communicate it, find that market to message match. You have to be able to have an acquisition system, and it could be as simple as what we do is we have a system for generating leads. We get about 10 to sometimes 20 leads a day. all organically. We're not even using paid ads right now with it. Then we have a content ecosystem to where we're leveraging our top of funnel, which for us right now it's Facebook, plus email, right? We're just repurposing our best content to email, and YouTube. So we can have a long form content, so we can build trust with people, we can give value, we can nurture and develop the relationships with our audience through valuable long form content. And we combine those things together that creates an invisible funnel. And then we run what's called conversion content campaigns. We do this usually once a month, sometimes every 2 weeks. And that's a predictable way to be able to drive traffic into some kind of masterclass or workshop, or that's basically what we do, masterclasses or workshops, sometimes a promotion, right? And with that being said, we have a waitlist strategy to where we open up our waitlist once a month, and we allow, sometimes 5 to 10 people inside of my program and my mentorship program. And it's a really well-oiled and beautiful system that works amazing for us. And so knowing that and having that in, we can literally take that thing to as far as you want. Right? I can start running ads if I want more leads to fill at the top of the pipeline. But my point is, it's like dialing in that right, working on the right sequences of things, the right project. It's kind of like building a Lego, right? When you start to focus on like, how am I going to build this Lego? I can't build bag 8 before I can build bag 2, right? So you got to start with bag 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. And building a business is a lot like that. It's very similar. And so first big thing is like really managing your dopamine and not getting rid of the cheap dopamine things that are keeping you from really focusing and becoming distracted, and then making sure you're focusing on the right things at the right time. What projects do you need to focus on? And if you're trying to do things that like you see somebody that's in a whole nother stage doing, you want to ignore that and you want to focus on what you need to focus on. And then I'd say the third major key here is really focusing on your unique perspectives and your unique story. And so when it comes to this whole topic of getting out of this consumption and overthinking and overwhelm and over planning and all of this jazz that I see a lot of us, myself included, that fall into, it's a lot of times it's because we're not aligned with our actual values, right? We're not really building a business or sharing content or doing things that really are aligned with what we know to be true and what we actually value. And so when I see people start to step more into their values, more into sharing their unique perspectives, and really outside of just the marketing and content piece, like actually building their business model around their values, right? So for me, fun, simplicity, client results, and freedom and profit. These are all different values of mine, right? And I want to be able to build my business around that. I don't want to be sitting here working till 7 p.m. at night, right? I want to be hanging out with my kids. I don't want to be having a complex business model, right? I want to have something simple that is really easy to deliver, and it's really easy to fill for me. I want to have fun. I don't want to be working with clients that I dread. I want to actually show up to my business and love what I do, right? And that comes from the marketing side to the sales side to the delivery side. And, I want to be profitable. I don't want to sit here and, I've been in the phase to where, we've generated over $100,000 per month, and my profit margins were nowhere near showing that because I had the whole team. I was paying appointment setters and VA agencies and you name it. Right? Nowadays, I value profit on top of this because that's what our business, that's why we get into business, right? It's to serve people, to impact people, and to make money. And so I want to have a lean business that I can really make more marketing heavy and systems focused, to where I can have the marketing do the heavy lifting for me on the acquisition side. I can have systems make it repeatable and more efficient. And that way I can show up and not need to have the big team of people like I used to have, and still make my business work because I'm building it from a place of my values right now. And so those are just some kind of things to think through right now. Is are you going through cheap dopamine, or are you really focusing on attaching your dopamine hits, on attaching your sense of reward to the process, to showing up and doing what you need to do to be able to grow this? Secondly, are you focusing on the right things at the right time, or are you just kind of all over the place with your projects? You're not really finishing things, got tons of open loops, you're focusing on maybe the right projects, but complete wrong stage of business for you. Okay, I'll make sure that's aligned. And then thirdly, are you building your business around your unique perspectives, what you know to be true, your actual story, and aligning it with your values? Or are you just kind of like shotgunning it? You're maybe following somebody else's stuff that doesn't really align with you. Like, these are all recipes for burnout. These are all recipes to where I see people kind of stay stuck in that paralysis analysis, or even if they are in motion moving, they're overthinking, they're over planning, and they're just, quite simply wasting a lot of time. And so I hope you found this extremely helpful, or at least insightful. And if you did, make sure to click subscribe. I would love to hear your comments down below on maybe some of the things that you're working through right now. And if there's any questions, I'm happy to be here, be of service to you, because I know this has kept me stuck for so long in so many different seasons. And it's not till I have this awareness and I start to think through some of these things that I'm like, crap. Right? So this is just kind of my model of how I look through it and work through it, and I hope it was helpful for you as well. All right? Remember, your message matters. Don't be afraid to speak it. As always, be seen, be heard, and be impactful.